We're going to go to Acts 22 for our devotion thought tonight. Acts 22:16 is kind of the culmination of a story that Paul is telling. He's telling the story, frankly, of his life, of his conversion. But if we go back, I think that there is a lesson for us just in how he sets up this conversation. He says, brethren and fathers, he's speaking to them in their own language, in their Hebrew tongue. Brethren and fathers, hear my defense before you now. And when they heard that he spoke to them in the Hebrew language, they kept all the more silent. Then he said, I am indeed a Jew, born in Tarsus of Cilicia, but brought up in this city at the feet of Gamaliel, taught according to the strictness of our father's law, and was zealous toward God as you all are today. I persecuted this way to the death, binding and delivering into prison both men and women, as also the high priest bears me witness, and all the council of elders, from whom I also received letters to the brethren, and went to Damascus to bring in chains even those who were there to Jerusalem to be punished. Acts 22, 1 through 5, and really you can back up a little bit into Acts 20, the end of Acts 21, is setting the scene for the conversion of Saul. Because once you get to verse 6, that's what happens. But if we look at what he's saying here, what he's doing is he is saying things that for any of them would be what we might call a flex or name dropping. I mean, he does. He name drops Gamaliel. They know who Gamaliel is. He name drops the high priest. They know who the high priest is. He says, look, this is undeniable. I'm a Jew among Jews. Not just the high priest, but the entire council of elders. I got letters directly from them. What Paul is saying is, I'm probably the most pedigreed Jew here, or at least I'm in that class. I was the man among Jewish men. And then something happened. And we can relate to this, maybe not in the direct way Paul does, but we can relate to this. In other words, you can get feeling so proud of yourself and so big about yourself that you lose sight of what is genuinely important and what is genuinely impactful. Yes, he had the ear of the high priest. Yes, he had the ear of the council of elders. Yes, he was well-educated and well-trained. And yet, verse 6 says, now it happened as I journeyed, I came near Damascus at about noon. Suddenly a great light from heaven shone around me, and I fell to the ground and heard a voice saying, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? And you know the rest. It's the Lord speaking to him. And the thought to this week's midweek study is this. If I have a good education, that's a blessing. Not everybody does. If I have a well-paying profession, that's a blessing. Not everybody does. If I have some form of pedigree or or I have a big nest egg to fall back on, that's a blessing. Not everybody does. But no matter what I believe I am, and no matter what I think I have, its value goes right out the window when I lay it next to even one sentence coming from the mouth of Jesus. That's what Paul found out on that road. Paul's on his way to Damascus, and he is the man. He is the Jew among Jews, respected, feared by his enemies, until he sees that shining light and hears that voice, and his life would never be the same again.